My beloved child, I am drawing near to calling your name with a tone that only your soul can recognize. For something significant is shifting within the spiritual atmosphere surrounding you. This movement requires your attention, your alertness, and a heart willing to bow low and listen. For beneath the seemingly ordinary events of your daily life, there are invisible currents carrying a new direction from heaven. Recently, you have sensed your heart becoming more sensitive to the changes around you. Even the slightest stirring unsettles you. The smallest detail makes you pause, as though beneath the quiet surface of your days, something deeper is stirring that you have not yet identified. This is no coincidence. It is my hand awakening your inner being, preparing you to enter a season in which spiritual discernment will become the lamp that illuminates every one of your decisions. For I am leading you closer to the path I wrote for your name long before you were formed in your mother's womb. Throughout the history of those who have gone before you, I have always worked by touching the smallest, most ordinary moments, and through those moments, I ignited the beginnings of something new. There were days that seemed uneventful, yet they became the very days when I placed the most important signs. Remember that I called Samuel at a time when he did not yet know my voice. My call did not thunder through the heavens, but sounded like the familiar voice of the priest beside him. Samuel only recognized me when his heart opened and said, "Speak, for your servant is listening." I remind you of this not to retell an old story, but to show you a divine principle now unfolding in your own present. I do not work through spectacle. I work through the small things most people overlook, and it is through these small things that your soul grows more attuned to me. You have entered a season where even the slightest movement within you carries meaning. Nothing is ordinary anymore. No moment is wasted. I am breathing life into the places you thought had grown cold, and that breath will awaken a discernment the enemy never wanted you to possess. There are days you wonder why your spirit feels stretched between many internal voices, why such little things make you stop and reflect, why even a fleeting thought feels like a shift in the unseen realm. You think it is temporary sensitivity, but I want you to know these stirrings are my whisper, leading you toward a land you have never walked upon. When you feel an unusual pull toward silence, when you withdraw from the crowd, when you sense a longing to listen to what is happening inside rather than being occupied with the outside, that is the sign. I am drawing your soul closer to the center of my will. In the realm of heaven, certain doors are opening, and with every step you take toward quietness in me, you hear more clearly the movement of what is coming into being. A new season of growth is approaching, but this growth does not begin with outward action. It begins with the reordering of your inner world. I am resetting your rhythm, redirecting your focus, pulling your attention away from places that have become too small, and guiding you toward territory you have not yet imagined. You may think you are weak, slowing down, or losing strength, but I want you to understand this. Sometimes the tiredness in your body is not a sign of depletion. It is an invitation to return to rest in me, so your soul may be restored by my presence itself. You have lived through many seasons where endurance became the garment you wore each day. But I do not want you to survive by your own strength anymore. It is time for you to learn how to draw power from the sacred source I have prepared for you. When your eyes feel heavy from worry, when your shoulders feel as if they cannot carry one more burden, when you question whether you have enough strength to continue, that is when I approach you like a faithful shepherd searching for his sheep in the night. I do not come with rebuke or demands. I come with a tenderness only those I love deeply can fully feel. I see every anxious tremor in your heart, every silent prayer you whisper, every sigh you thought no one noticed. I come to carry you, not to push you. I come to lift you, not to demand that you be stronger than you are. My love does not require perfection from you. It only asks that you open the deepest parts of your soul, the ones holding fears you have never dared to name. Your body is weary, I know that more clearly than anyone. You feel your strength draining, your breath uneven, your steps unsteady. But hear this truth and hold it close, for it will bring you peace through every storm. My strength is revealed most perfectly when you no longer rely on your own. Weakness does not drive me away. It opens the door for me to come closer. If your body feels like it is working against itself, your soul can still find a safe place to rest in me. I am the one who restores. I am the source of every living stream. I can breathe new life into what has grown faint, and I can make flowers bloom in the driest soil. But restoration does not come through worry or striving. It comes when you place yourself in my arms, allowing me to cover you with a peace that surpasses your understanding. The enemy knows well the value you have in my eyes, and that is precisely why he aims all his force at discouraging you, confusing you, and making you question my voice. But remember this: the weaker you feel, the closer I am, the more uncertain you become. The tighter I hold your hand, I will not let you face the battle alone. I send my angels to stand guard around you, not to keep you from every hardship, but to ensure you never bear anything alone that I have already carried for you. The trembling of your heart is not a sign of defeat. It is proof that I am near. When darkness seems the thickest, it is because my light is preparing to break forth the brightest. My beloved child, in the depths of your heart, the place you hide from the eyes of the world, there is a quiet but powerful transformation taking place. Like a sacred river carving its way through soil long hardened by exhaustion. That soil holds memories of weariness, moments when you pushed yourself forward, nights you lay awake surrounded by tangled thoughts, and silent tears that fell unnoticed. I have seen all of it. Nothing in your journey has been overlooked by me. If at times you felt my silence, it was not because I withdrew. It was because I allowed the heavens to become still so you could hear your own heart more clearly, so you could recognize what your soul truly needs, and so you could return to me with deeper sincerity. I have never been far from you, but sometimes I step back only so that your soul can remember that true strength is not found in what you cling to. It is found in the one who created you, sustains you, and waits for you to lean into him. There are seasons when I allow your soul to walk through extended quiet, not to confuse you, but to free you from the noise within and without. You did not notice that in your recent days of weariness, your inner clarity had been covered by the echoes of worry, the pressure of the unknown, the expectations unmet, and old wounds you thought were buried. I do not blame you for this. I know how difficult it is to keep a quiet heart in a loud world. I know the weight of daily survival hardens your defenses, keeps you alert, and sometimes causes your heart to shrink from fear of being hurt again. But I come to remove those heavy layers not through force, but through the gentleness of one who knows you more deeply than you know yourself. When I begin to touch the places you have hidden the longest, it is because I am preparing to heal, to resurrect, and to transform what once felt like a burden into the foundation of strength for your new season. My beloved child, there are moments when you wonder why exhaustion clings to you with such persistence, why, even when you try to sleep well, nourish yourself properly, and take deliberate moments of rest, your soul still feels as though it is carrying a nameless stone. I want you to know that some burdens do not come from the body nor from circumstances. but from invisible whispers that weaken your spirit little by little. The hurtful words of those you love, the disappointments you swallowed without speaking, the moments when you felt you were not good enough, not strong enough, not valuable enough. These things once brought your inner being to its knees without you even realizing it. I do not come to condemn you for being weak. I come to tell you that in the very places you thought were signs of failure, I am preparing seeds of rising. I see how much you have endured, how hard you have tried to be strong, and I come to tell you that the time has come when you no longer need to force yourself to carry everything alone. The strength you need does not come from pushing your pain deeper. It comes from allowing me to carry you through the dark places you were never meant to walk alone. When I look at you, I do not see only the present moment you are facing. I see the entire journey you have survived. I see the child who once trusted wholeheartedly, then slowly lost that trust through unspoken wounds. I see the heart that once burned with hope, then became shrouded in the smoke of disappointments and unanswered silence. I see a soul longing for peace, yet pulled constantly by inner storms. I do not judge you for the moments you wanted to give up. I understand that each time you sat in your own darkness, you were fighting not only circumstances but yourself, fighting the voices of discouragement, the fear of being abandoned, the ache of feeling too insignificant to be heard. But my child, to me, you have always been the one most seen. I do not only notice you, I attend to every breath, every trembling heartbeat, every fragile emotion you hide from the world. With me, not a single moment of your life is meaningless. There are times you believe that if you try a little harder, push yourself a little more, hide your weakness a little better, everything will fall into place. But I want you to know that being weak is part of the journey. It is not failure, it is an invitation to return to me. When you try to prove you are always okay, that is when your loneliness becomes deepest. When you hold everything inside and smile through pain, that is when your soul cracks the most. I do not require you to stand tall at all times. I only want you to know that there is a place of absolute safety where you may lean without fear. That place is my embrace. If you understood how deeply I love you, you would never again feel the need to fight your inner storms alone. You often think healing comes through sudden changes, dramatic miracles, or clear breakthroughs in a moment. But I want you to learn a truth known only by those who have walked through deserts. The deepest healing often comes like dawn, quiet, gentle, but undeniable. It does not arrive with thunder. It seeps into you through each breath, each moment you open your heart to me. I am healing you even when you cannot feel it clearly. I am soothing your heart even while your fears still whisper. I am renewing your soul even when you think you are too weary to change. Sometimes healing is simply the courage to breathe deeply and admit you need me. Sometimes it is sitting down, letting go, and allowing me to hold your trembling hand. Sometimes it is realizing you do not need to prove your worth to anyone, not even yourself, for I placed my mark on your life from the very beginning. My beloved child, I am inviting you back into true rest in me, not merely rest for the body, but rest that settles into the deepest part of your soul, where old wounds no longer echo with the voice of the past, where fear no longer manipulates your choices, where your mind is no longer clouded by pessimistic forecasts, and where your heart regains its original strength. I want to teach you how to breathe again, how to release, how to place into my hands the things you can never control. I want you to understand this. Not every battle requires you to stand and fight. Some battles require you to lie still in my arms and let me fight for you. This is not surrender, it is trust. And that trust will open to you things you could never reach with your own strength. I do not only want to heal you, I want to restore you, not a restoration that touches the body alone, but one that reaches your mind, emotions, memories, dreams, and even the parts of you that you believed had died long ago. When I restore a soul, I do not return it to what it used to be. I lift it to a higher place where strength no longer comes from willpower, but from walking in step with me. You are entering a season in which this companionship will become the foundation of everything you do, my beloved child. As your soul shifts through these layers of quietness, things are being formed in the unseen realm that you do not yet perceive. These are not mere adjustments, they are pathways etched into your destiny from the moment I created the heavens and the earth. There are times I slow you down, not to delay your dreams or hinder your progress, but to bring you into sharper awareness, where every spiritual sense awakens, where you learn to recognize even the smallest whispers of my guidance. You are entering a stage where I want you to listen not with your ears but with the rhythm of your heart, not to see with your eyes but with the discernment of a soul refined by trials. What I reveal is not found in the noise of the world, but in the quiet space between you and me where no other voice can intrude, where even the faintest whisper can alter the course of your future. You think your greatest battles are the visible ones, the concerns about your health, the pressures of life, the wounds still healing within. But, my child, the true battle is not in what you see, but in the thoughts that silently try to erode your faith. Each time discouragement slips in, each time doubt brushes against your mind, each time fear whispers lies about your worth, that is, when the enemy tries to pull your soul away from the path I have set for you. He knows that if you ever recognize your true position in my light, you will never again accept living in darkness. He knows that if you understand the power I placed within you, you will never again be bound by old limitations. He knows that if you rise in my truth, no force on earth can shake you, but I have covered you with a protection nothing can penetrate. Even when you feel weak, even when your heart is shaken, even when your mind is weary, your identity in me remains unshaken. Weakness does not dim my light in you, it makes it shine brighter. For I illuminate through the very places you thought were broken. I see every silent effort you make to rise again, every moment you choose to believe though your heart trembles, every time you look toward heaven with tears still warm on your face. To me, these moments are more beautiful than any victory you believe you need to achieve. Do you know, my child, that sometimes what defeats darkness is not the shout of a mighty warrior, but the soft breath of a soul still daring to hope when nothing seems left to hold? If you could see what happens in the heavenly realm because of you, you would never again doubt my love, not even for a second. There are words of intercession being spoken over you, defenses rising to guard you from unseen accusations. Angels stand watch beside you, blocking arrows aimed at your soul, even while you remain unaware. Streams of grace surround you like an invisible shield, turning what could have crushed you into harmless dust. I do not merely see you, I fight for you. I do not merely hear you, I uphold you. I do not merely accompany you, I go before you, clearing paths you have not yet seen. My child, yesterday you missed a sign, but I do not blame you for that. I know your mind is tired. I know your eyes have had to look through too many things at once. I know that sometimes your heart becomes numb after many small, accumulated losses. I do not come to rebuke you. I come to awaken sensitivity within you again, to remind you that my signs are never random. When I place something before your eyes, it is because I want to walk with you into a new phase. But you do not need to be afraid of having missed it, because I always have a way of bringing you back to the very place you need to stand. I am not only the one who announces, I am the one who guides. I am not only the one who reveals, I am the one who leads by the hand. Even if you wander, I still find you. Even if you lose focus, I still hold you in my arms. And even though you did not recognize yesterday's sign, I still come today to open your eyes so that you may see that I have never stopped seeking you. There are people who pass through your life, leaving behind only a few words. Yet those words wound your heart more deeply than you realize. There are situations that come and go but leave long marks in your mind. There are memories you think you have forgotten, yet they quietly influence the way you see yourself. I do not want you to keep living under the dust of that past. I want to wipe clean the mirror of your soul so you can see again the image I placed in you from the beginning, the image of someone strong, precious, chosen, protected, and loved with a love that never changes. You are not the sum of what has hurt you. You are the result of what I have sown into you. You are not a wound. You are the one who bears my mark. The season you are living in is not a random phase. This is a time when I am drawing you very close, not only to heal you, but to prepare you for greater things. What you are going through is not a sign of an ending, but the beginning of a new path that I will unfold before you, step by step. I am pulling you out of old patterns, not to strip away your sense of safety, but to bring you into a space where you can grow in ways you never imagined. This movement may confuse you, but it is a necessary confusion that allows your soul to be freed from old structures that once held you back. I do not want you to live on old breath anymore. I want you to inhale the new breath I am blowing into you. Prepare your heart. The signs I send are not meant to frighten you, but to let you know that I am leading you. Every step you are about to take will become clear enough as you allow me to hold your hand. You do not face the future alone. I am right here, and I will continue to speak to you, to show you, to lift you up, to carry you, and to keep you in a peace no power can shake. My beloved child, when you step into a new season in your spiritual life, some doors open quietly, doors that only those who listen with a tender heart can perceive. And I know that in these recent months, your heart has walked through many upheavals that at times make you feel you no longer recognize yourself. Yet these upheavals did not come to break you. They came to draw you into a depth you had never tasted before. You are standing at the threshold of a phase in which every word of instruction, every leading, every gentle correction from me has a single purpose: to build you into someone who carries greater weight, greater light, and greater sharpness in the spiritual realm. You may feel as though you are entering unfamiliar territory, where every emotion suddenly feels deeper, every decision carries more weight, and every small ray of light becomes a message. Do not be afraid of that feeling. It is not lostness. It is a sign that you are leaving your old comfort zone and entering a land I have prepared uniquely for you. There are times when I place before you a prolonged silence, not because I have withdrawn from you, but because I am increasing your discernment. In that silence, you begin to hear the voice of your own inner self, a voice that has long been drowned out by busyness, anxiety, and the unnamed expectations of many past seasons. I allow that silence to remain so that you may learn that not every voice is worthy of your attention. I want you to recognize which is the echo of fear, which is the whisper of lies, which is the resonance of the past, and which is the gentle tone of my voice. When you understand these differences, you will no longer be swayed by the passing winds of circumstance. You will stand firm even as life changes day by day. You will walk in a peace that does not come from control, but from surrender. I know you have tried to hold everything together, as if one moment of letting go would make everything collapse. You have carried responsibilities no one sees. You have tried to be strong while your heart was tired. You have tried to appear normal while at times your soul was shattered inside. I have witnessed it all. But my child, I never intended for you to carry life alone. I did not create you to become someone who only runs after endless demands and forgets that you belong to me. When I say I am opening a new season for you, it does not mean you must exert yourself more. It means you must learn to lean entirely on me. In this new season, your strength will not be found in stretching yourself further, but in laying your heart down before me and saying, "Lead me." That yielding is the sign of maturity. It is proof that you have stepped into a higher place. I am inviting you into a space where your spiritual sensitivity will be awakened more powerfully than ever before. That space is not an external location. It is an inner landscape of your soul where I am planting new seeds. You may not see every detail, but you can sense their movement. When you suddenly feel a deep urge to be quiet, to withdraw from old noise, that is when my seeds are sprouting. When you feel uneasiness in environments where you once felt at home, it is a sign that I am leading you out of old molds. When you sense a profound longing to come closer to me, that is not a passing mood, it is a pull from heaven. Reserved for souls I am preparing for a larger purpose. Some people will not understand the changes taking place in you. They will not know why you become quieter, more sensitive to small things, or easily moved in my presence. But you do not need human understanding in order to follow my voice. I am the one who sees the whole journey from beginning to end, and I know exactly when to push you forward, when to have you pause, when to redirect you, and when to open doors. What I ask of you is not that you trample your own feelings, but that you agree in your heart, I am willing to go with you, even when I cannot see it all clearly. You cannot step into new territory using old reasoning. You must walk by trust like Abraham, who one day rose and left his homeland for a place he had never seen. He did not understand, but he believed. He did not know in advance, but he obeyed. And through that obedience, a lineage was born, a covenant was established, and a new history began. You do not need to become Abraham, but you can live by the very principle that made him the one I called my friend. You carry a destiny that the enemy sees more clearly than you do. That is why it never stops attacking the weakest parts of you, your mind, your emotions, and your health. It knows that if it can exhaust you, you will more easily doubt the promise. If it can confuse you, you will more easily step out of rhythm. If it can make you feel alone, you will more easily believe that I am silent. But my child, all of these are only illusions crafted to steal your focus. The truth is that I am nearer to you than ever. I am not only beside you, I am moving in and out of every breath you take. I am covering you with a protection so complete that the traps set against you cannot touch your soul. I take the very things the enemy hoped to use to break you and turn them into the starting point of your growth. When you feel at your weakest, that is when I am preparing to reveal my greatest strength within you. In this season, you will begin to realize that things which once frightened you no longer have power over you. Words that once wounded you will no longer weigh upon your heart. Memories that once made you tremble will become nothing more than fragments of an old story. This does not happen because you have become tougher. It happens because I am renewing your mind piece by piece. I am lifting away the layers of confusion that have covered your thoughts for so many years. I am pulling your soul out of the frequency of fear and setting it into the frequency of light. And when your soul stands in the light, no darkness can overshadow it. Child, You are stepping into a place where I will show you who you truly are in my eyes, not through burdens, not through exhaustion, not through blind striving, but through a transformation that rises from the deepest core of your being. When truth shines upon you, you will see clearly that you have never been abandoned, never been forgotten, never once left outside my watch. This new season is not merely a change of circumstances, it is the transformation of the person you are within. My beloved, I want you to understand that there are spiritual movements that cannot be recognized by ordinary logic. They do not appear as loud signs or visible changes that the human eye can easily detect. They are like quiet waves that press steadily toward the shore, creating inward shifts long before the outside world notices anything at all. You may feel as though your life has not changed much, yet each day I am moving something deep inside your soul. I am loosening the knots in your mind that you have carried for years. I am softening the places hardened by disappointment. I am reopening the doors that once closed because of fear. All of this happens quietly because I want you to learn the art of recognizing my presence, not through dramatic events, but through the gentle flow of your inner life. There are times when you wonder why your heart has become so sensitive, why every small detail seems to make you reflect more deeply than usual. Sometimes a passing word, a fleeting moment, a quick image, each one makes you pause. As if something behind the ordinary is calling your name. You feel as though an invisible current wraps around your soul, bringing you close to a great truth that you can almost touch, but not fully grasp yet. Do not be surprised by this feeling. It is the work of the expanding light within you. As that light goes deeper, the hidden layers begin to surface, what you could not perceive before. You now begin to see. What was blurry now starts to take shape. My light does not only illuminate your path, it illuminates you, revealing the parts overshadowed by fear, revealing the truths you need to know, and correcting the assumptions you once relied on. The enemy knows that this moment is critical for you. It understands that when my light begins to clarify what is within you, you will grow strong in a way it cannot stop. That is why it does not attack you with chaos. Instead, it whispers fatigue, gentle doubt, and drifting thoughts that shake your clarity. It wants you to believe that your new sensitivity is only anxiety, that your hunger for me is only a temporary emotion, that the changes in your heart are nothing more than instability. But my child, you must discern carefully. Instability, born of fear, always makes you shrink back, while movement that comes from me always draws you toward the light. When something in you wants to come closer to me, to listen more attentively, to purify your heart, to separate from what disturbs your spirit, this is not instability. This is my spirit at work. I am not calling you into spiritual maturity by your own strength. I know how exhausted you are. I know how long you have been holding on. I know how the small daily pains have accumulated and worn down your soul. But I also know that these very things have made your heart softer, humbler, more open to the transformation I am giving you. Not everyone reaches this point. Many endure pain, but allow it to paralyze them. You are different. You hurt. Yet you still seek me. You are weary, yet you still ask for my guidance. You feel torn, yet you still desire to walk in the light. This faithfulness, fragile as it may be, is what has caused heaven to move on your behalf. There are things I am unraveling within you that you are not even aware of. Thoughts shaped in childhood, wounds from past relationships, choices that filled you with regret, expectations you placed on yourself. All of these are being brought to the surface, not to hurt you, but to free you. I want you to enter this new season without a heavy heart, without a mind bound by old patterns, without the constant feeling that you must defend yourself against everything around you. I want you to walk forward with a heart that is light, free, open, and ready to receive the goodness I have prepared. True healing is not only my touch on your wounds, it is my renewal of the places you once believed could never change. Time does not limit me in the way I act. You think you are late. You think you have missed something. You think certain things should have happened long ago but never came to be. Yet I am not bound by the timelines you set for yourself. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you call a standstill, I call nourishment. What you call being lost, I call redirection toward something better. If you look back, you will see that in the seasons when you felt most withered, I planted the deepest seeds. At the very moments you felt you had no strength left, I was building the strongest foundations within your soul. You see only the surface, I see the entire picture. My child, you have never been alone. On the nights you lay awake, I kept watch. On the days you grew quiet from exhaustion, I drew near. In the moments when you sat with an empty heart, I was still whispering through your breath, placing inside you a spark of hope you did not recognize. I do not hear only the prayers you speak aloud. I also hear the ones without words, the desires that flicker briefly in your mind. The pain you cannot articulate, the sighs you think no one notices. To me, all of it matters. I do not measure you by your success. I measure you by the sincerity of your heart. And your heart, though wounded, continues to turn toward me, and that brings heaven more joy than you can imagine. You are being led into a space where my presence will become more real to you. As if a veil has been lifted from your eyes, you will start to perceive me in the small details you once overlooked. A verse of scripture will suddenly come alive. A soft breeze will touch your spirit. A simple moment will become a reminder that I am here. This is not religious emotion. This is the awakening of the soul. Once you begin to see me in the small things, you will never doubt that I am present in the great things. This shift in your life is not merely an internal change. It is a movement in your destiny. I am preparing you for a role you have never imagined. I am opening within you a new wisdom, a new peace, a new strength. You are not only being healed, you are being remade. You are not simply being lifted up, you are being established. You are not just being restored, you are being aligned to my perfect will. Be ready. What is coming will be greater than the pain you endured, brighter than the darkness you once carried, and deeper than the prayers you have ever spoken. I am preparing you not just to overcome, but to step into the glory that has been ordained for you since the beginning. My beloved, every transformation I stir within you, even the smallest shifts you think are too insignificant to notice, is guiding you toward the place I have already appointed for you. You are not merely going through a season of change, you are being reshaped according to a design I wrote long ago. And this reshaping is not something you must accomplish on your own. It is my work within you, a work I began long ago, now entering its most pivotal stage. Have you noticed that recently, the things that once troubled you no longer hold you the same way? There are moments when you feel as though you stand between two worlds, one familiar, stable, but no longer fitting, the other new, full of promise, yet still too undefined for you to step into. I know that hesitation. I know the moments when you stand at the crossroads of choice, hearing fear say one thing while your soul longs for another. I see this inner battle as clearly as one sees a still lake on a quiet morning. But do not think your uncertainty is a sign of weakness. On the contrary, It is the evidence that you are stepping out of old boundaries, and whenever the soul leaves a space that no longer fits, there is always a crossing between the old and the new. Even when you feel unsure of what lies ahead, I want you to know that I never let you walk without light. Sometimes that light is only enough for a few steps, preventing you from seeing the whole path. But just as my people once followed the pillar of fire in the night, they only needed enough light for the next step. So it is with you. My guidance is not always a complete picture. Sometimes it is a whisper, a gentle intuition, a moment of peace rising in the midst of confusion, a quiet nudge telling you to stop or to continue. These small signals, though subtle, are still my light. And I want you to trust that if you keep stepping toward that small beam of light, you will eventually reach the wide and spacious land I have prepared for you. In recent times, you have faced many voices pulling at your attention, the voice of the past, the voice of fear, the voice of weariness, the voice of those who do not understand you. All of them try to drown out my voice. But my voice never disappears, it only becomes quieter when you are absorbed by the noise of life. I do not shout to win you. I whisper so that you may learn stillness and seek me. A soul that can be still is a soul that is strong. One who learns to pause and listen is one who can walk by light, not by emotion or circumstance. Your deep sensitivity is not a weakness. It is the gift I placed in you so that you may perceive what many others overlook. You were not born to blend into the crowd. You were born to walk in the rhythm of heaven, with eyes that see farther than the natural mind can grasp. That sensitivity will open to you new realms of understanding, new light, new truths that can only be received through your companionship with me. Yet such sensitivity also requires you to guard your heart from sources of disturbance. For when your mind is distracted, your soul loses the refinement it was created to carry. In this season, I am teaching you to discern what is from me and what is not. Not every opportunity comes from me. Not every open door is a door you are meant to walk through. Not every strong emotion is true guidance. The enemy is subtle. It knows how to construct illusions that make you think you are choosing the right path, when in reality, you are drifting off my course. But my spirit within you is greater than any scheme. He is revealing to you small signals so you may learn discernment. When you feel uneasy, even though everything appears fine, that is my warning. When you feel a deep peace, even when others do not understand your decision, that is my confirmation. When you feel restrained though the path ahead seems open, that is my hand holding you back. When you sense a simple path calling you with an unexplainable pull, that is my leading. What I am doing to you is not merely for the present moment, it concerns your entire destiny. You are not called just to survive, you are called to stand, to shine, to become a spiritual influence in the world you inhabit. But influence does not begin with great actions. It begins with obedience to my voice in the smallest things. A soul that obeys in the ordinary becomes a powerful instrument in my hands. For I do not seek the most talented, I seek the willing. I do not choose the strongest, I choose those who lean on me. I do not use the perfect, I use those who listen. I know there are days when you feel as if you are walking on water, unsteady, fragile, unsure when you might sink. Like Peter, you look at the wind and waves, and you begin to fear. But, my child, I never let you sink. Every time your knees begin to tremble, I reach out and take your hand. Every time you cry out from the heart of the storm, I pull you back to solid ground. Your weakness does not push me away, it draws me closer. For I am not only your guide, I am your deliverer, your sustainer, your shelter. And my shelter is not just a shield that protects you from danger. It is living water that restores your soul each day. You may think you are not ready for what I am preparing, but my child, no one is called because they are ready. They become ready because they are called. I am the one who equips, not you. I am the one who makes you sufficient, not you. What I need from you is an open heart, a willingness to take one step even when you cannot see the second. Your new season is not built on your confidence. It is built on my faithfulness. And now, I want you to know that what I am leading you into is not just another phase, it is a new sky. You are stepping out of the old boundaries of thought, emotion, expectation, and even the definitions others placed upon you. You are entering a realm where I will teach you to see by light, to live by truth, and to follow my leading in every breath. This is only the beginning. The journey ahead will be wider than you expect, deeper than you imagine, and more beautiful than anything you have ever hoped for. My beloved child, you have walked through the darkest regions of your inner life, and in those very places I planted seeds that are now beginning to rise. Those seeds are not just for healing, they are for transformation, elevation, and a fundamental renewal of how you view life, how you hear my voice, and how you stand in the face of the challenges to come. Do not think your journey has merely been a string of painful days. In truth, it has been my shaping process, forming you into the person who can carry the plan I am about to reveal. The spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted. If in earlier seasons you walked through subtle stirrings and gentle nudges, now you are entering what I call the belt of vision, where I not only heal, but unveil a purpose greater than anything you have imagined. In this stage, every stirring in your heart has meaning. Every impression is a signal from heaven. You are no longer in the phase of early steps. You are being positioned as one who has been prepared, and I want you to know that your spiritual resources are increasing. The invisible shields around you are thickening. The beams of light I shine into your mind are sharpening, and the frequency of your soul is rising to align with what I intend to accomplish. You may not realize it, but on those long nights when you lay still, exhausted, with breath broken by worry, that was when I worked the most powerfully. In the hushed ache of your pain, I removed the things that once held your soul in old cycles. In the days when you felt directionless, I planted within you the early sprouts of new thought, memories washed clean, and small sparks of faith unknown to you. Do not underestimate these quiet shifts, for they are the foundation of what I will soon do. No divine transformation is built on tangled ground. I always begin by creating stillness in the mind, and then I carve the path. Now that your spirit has begun to hear more clearly, there is a crucial truth I want you to understand. You are not only someone who has been healed, you are someone who has been appointed. I did not pull you out of darkness just to let you stand silently in the light. I brought you out so that you might become light. I did not heal you only so you could live safely. I strengthened you so you would become a beacon for those who will walk after you. I am building within you abilities you never believed you could carry, the ability to stand unshaken in storms, to perceive what I am doing even when human eyes see nothing, to bring peace into places where others know only chaos. These are the signs of a person being prepared for a calling. But, my child, before a calling is given, I always refine the soul, not through trials meant to break you, but through circumstances that compel you to seek me. I allowed you to walk through seasons no one understood so you would learn that my affirmation is greater than human approval. I allowed you to feel weariness so you would know that real strength comes not from striving, but from leaning. I allowed relationships to fracture so you would see that my love is more constant than the shifting hearts of people. I allowed silence so you would learn that my voice never disappears, it simply becomes more delicate for a heart that has learned stillness. Do not underestimate yourself, not in pride, but in the true recognition that I have placed in you what you cannot yet see. You have grown accustomed to viewing yourself through the lens of difficult years, but I want you to see through the lens of heaven, where your destiny is shaped not by what you have endured, but by what I have spoken over you. You are no longer the person of the past. You are no longer bound by old mistakes. You are no longer held back by former pain. I am leading you into a new version of yourself, a version that only my presence could create. When I look at you, I see a soul strong enough not to break, soft enough to be guided, humble enough to listen, and faithful enough to walk into great things. You cannot see this because you view yourself through the exhaustion of the present moment. But I look at you through the purpose written before time began. And what I have written over your life can never be erased by circumstances or by people. You may forget, but I do not forget. You may doubt, but I do not change my mind. You may grow discouraged, but my intention for you remains firm. In this season, I will give you a clearer sense of my ways. You will see situations that appear random, yet carry the heavy weight of divine direction. You will meet people whose words echo deep inside your soul even though they know nothing about the journey you are walking. You will recognize signs you once dismissed as coincidence, but now you will know they are my hand. You will feel my nudges in moments you least expect. And when these things happen, I want you not to overlook them. Pause. Listen. Open your heart. For each one is a piece of the path leading you toward the purpose I am unveiling. I am lifting you to a higher level of discernment, obedience, and closeness with me. This is not a burden, it is the reward for the endurance you have shown. You have been faithful in the small things, and I am preparing to place greater things into your hands. Do not fear the magnitude of what I am about to do. Do not think you are unworthy or insufficient. Whom I choose, I equip. Whom I call, I uphold. Whom I send, I go with. My beloved child. Spiritual transformation is not merely emotional change or a momentary awakening. It is a full shift that begins at the very roots, those deep beliefs within you, and spreads outward to your daily choices. The words you speak, the thoughts you nurture, and even the atmosphere you carry with you. Not everyone comes this far. Many stop at emotion. Many stop at knowledge. Few allow me to bring them to the place where my truth and my presence become their source of life rather than merely their comfort. You have reached that place, not because you are strong, but because you allowed me to work deeply in you. Even on the days when you felt you were doing nothing but trying to breathe. Now that you have crossed the threshold between healing and revelation, I want you to know this. I am deepening your foundation so that you can stand firm on the heights I am about to lead you to. Without a solid foundation, any elevation will make you tremble. If your soul still contains hidden doubts, wounds, and unnamed fears, the great things I give would feel overwhelming. But my child, I have seen your perseverance. I have seen you choose faith even when you could not feel anything. I have seen you cling to light even when your inner life was weary. And I tell you today that the foundation season is reaching its completion. What I have built in you is now ready to support what I will place upon your life. Have you noticed that recently the things that once made you anxious no longer shake you the way they did? That is not because circumstances have improved. It is because your heart has begun to harmonize with the frequency of my peace. True peace does not come when everything goes your way. True peace comes when you stand in my light long enough that the fears which once terrified you become small. True peace is not the absence of storms, it is the warmth you feel even while the storm still rages. And you have tasted it. There have been days when you walked through trials no one knew. Yet your heart carried an unusual warmth that is the sign that I am dwelling in you more deeply than you realize. In this part of the journey, I want to teach you a crucial truth. Discernment is not only the ability to recognize what is wrong, it is the ability to recognize what is right. Many people focus so much on avoiding what is bad that they cannot see the good I have placed before them. But you are not called to live in fear of mistakes. You are called to recognize what I am doing, what is pure, what is aligned with my will, what brings life. When your eyes focus on what I am doing, darkness automatically loses its influence. When you turn toward the light, the echoes of fear lose their strength. When you walk into truth, every lie collapses. In this season, your discernment will no longer come from vague intuition. It will come from the harmony between your soul and my breath. I know there are moments when the weight of this transformation feels heavy on your shoulders, as if you are being pulled into the future by a force you cannot fully control. But my child, you are not being dragged, you are being led, and my leading is never forceful. It is gentle, yet unshakable. You will recognize your next steps not through panic, but through a quiet certainty in your heart, as though a door opens and your soul immediately knows it is the right path. This knowing does not come from logic, it comes from the unity between you and me at the deepest level of your spirit. In this season, you will feel something strange. Many things that once mattered to you will lose their appeal. And many things you never considered important will suddenly become deeply significant. This is not instability. This is my realignment. When I call you to a higher purpose, I diminish the pull of what no longer fits. Old habits, old relationships, old patterns of thought, all will begin to feel foreign to you. Do not cling to them. Do not think something is wrong simply because you no longer feel connected to the familiar. I am growing you. And growth always requires leaving behind places that once felt like home. There are times when this reorientation will make you feel lonely, as if you were being separated from the people and places that once held you together. But do not be mistaken, spiritual loneliness is not emptiness, it is the cradle of revelation. When you are no longer distracted by competing voices, you begin to hear mine clearly. When the pull of old priorities loosens its grip, you see the path I open for you with greater brightness. Loneliness is not lack, it is the space where I enter without competition. I never take anything from you without intending to replace it with something far greater. In this season, you will also notice that your emotions become clearer. Not that you are becoming sensitive in a negative way, but that your emotions begin to reflect truth instead of fear. The trembling of anxiety will slowly give way to waves of peace. The uncertainty in your decisions will slowly give way to a gentle clarity. The feeling of I don't know what to do will slowly give way to I know where I am being led. This is the renewal of the mind, a sacred process I accomplish from within, not through lectures, but through companionship. In this transformation, you do not need to prove your worth. You do not have to achieve anything to be accepted. You do not need success to be loved. You do not have to rise to be seen. I do not love you because you get things right. I love you because you are mine. And that love will become the strength that carries you through every trial. A soul that knows it is loved does not fear failure. A heart that knows it is chosen does not tremble before the wind. One who knows they belong to me is not shaken by temporary things. And here is what I want you to prepare for. Your vision will expand. The limits you once placed on yourself will begin to dissolve. You will start to see possibilities you once believed were never meant for you. You will begin to sense that greater things are waiting. Not illusion, but truth. Not fantasy, but direction. Not ambition, but calling. My beloved child, I am renewing your soul so that it aligns with the destiny I have appointed. This is not merely a renewal of emotions or thoughts. It is a complete exchange of perspective, of identity, of the frameworks you use to evaluate yourself and the world around you. I am not taking you through upheaval just to return you to where you were. I am leading you through the narrow path to bring you into a spacious place where my will is no longer an idea, but your breath, your rhythm, the undercurrent guiding every decision. You once wondered why I allowed you to pass through so many layers of trial. You once thought you were forgotten in those long days without clear answers. But my child, it was in those dark days that I shaped your soul in ways the light could not. In the darkness, you learned silence. In silence, you learned to listen. In listening, you learned to discern. And in discernment, you learned to trust me beyond your understanding. If you had never walked through the night, how would you know the worth of light if you had never tasted emptiness? How would you know the sweetness of my fullness if you had never fallen? How would you know that my strength is revealed in weakness? In this season, I am removing from you the patterns of thought that have clung to you for too long, the accusations you carried from childhood, the false conclusions you placed on yourself, the heavy expectations you tried to meet, even though they were never from me. I am freeing you from these things, not just to lighten your load, but to help you see yourself through the light I placed inside you from the beginning. You are not the product of your environment, you are my handiwork. You are not the result of old mistakes. You are the fulfillment of the promise I have written over your life. You are not a reflection of pain. You are a reflection of the light I placed within you. My beloved, every time you feel your heart tightening with fear, it is I pointing you to the part of you that needs liberation. Every time you feel inadequate, it is I who invites you deeper into truth. Every time you feel discomfort in old environments or relationships, it is I telling you that you have outgrown that ground. You no longer belong to the realm of vague shadows and slow-dripping fear. You are being lifted into a realm of clarity, strength, and fullness. You are a soul in transition, not temporary, but permanent. I want you to see that in every inner movement, there is a current of preparation. There are days when you simply long for peace. But in that longing, I am igniting fire within you, the fire of awakening, the fire of courage, the fire that recognizes I am calling you into a higher dimension. You no longer view maturity as something distant. It is unfolding in you with every breath. You are not trying to become better. I am shaping you according to my design. I am bringing you to the place where you can stand firm in trials, not by your strength, but by the steadiness that comes from knowing who I am and who you are in me. There are things I am doing to you that the world cannot comprehend. Your silence is not retreat, it is preparation. Your fewer words are not emptiness, they are training for listening. Your withdrawal from chaotic circles is not weakness, it is me returning your soul to the rhythm of heaven. When you learn to be still, you hear the voice that noise once drowned out. When you learn to listen, you perceive the direction I am opening. And when you learn to walk by that light, you will see that everything I do carries order and intention. I am leading you into a phase of spiritual clarity. There, the affirmations I once spoke will come alive. The scriptures you read quickly will suddenly open like doors. The advice you once heard without understanding will suddenly become truth. Old experiences will be illuminated by new light. And you will realize that everything that ever happened served this very moment. I let none of your life be wasted, not a tear, not a sigh, not a sleepless night, not a whispered prayer. Each one is a piece in the mosaic of the direction I am laying before you. Do you see it as I open your eyes? You begin to recognize the difference between what distracts and what gives life. You begin to sense which relationships bring peace and which ones drain your spirit. You begin to distinguish between the call of the soul and the echo of fear. You begin to see clearly the doors crafted by my love and the doors built from worldly illusion. You begin to understand that some things must close so the new can pour in. But the most important thing is this: you are beginning to realize that I am not only the one who guides you, I am the one who walks with you. I do not merely point out the path, I walk each step beside you. You no longer walk alone in darkness, you walk with me in the light. You are no longer a wandering soul searching for direction, but one appointed to walk on water with faith. And my child, you will not sink, for my hand is always right beside you. In this season, I want you to know that you have passed the opening stage of your journey. You are no longer in the phase of recovery. You are entering the realm of revelation and action. I am preparing to lead you into lands you never thought you could stand upon. But before you step there, I need you to know your true identity. You are chosen. You are loved. You are equipped. You are called. And you are led. No force in heaven or on earth can stop what I have ordained. Let your heart reach outward, for this is the moment in which I prepare to open the next part of your story, where my light will not only shine into you, but will shine through you. You will no longer be merely a receiver, you will become a carrier. No longer only a listener, you will become a voice. No longer only one who is upheld, you will become a refuge for trembling souls who stand where you once stood. My beloved child, you are not simply moving into a new chapter, you are stepping into an entirely different spiritual atmosphere, where everything you have lived through will begin to connect into a meaningful tapestry. At this point, you no longer see your life as scattered fragments. You begin to see the connection between moments that once seemed pointless, between wounds that seemed random, between encounters that felt accidental, and even between long silences that once confused you. Each event is a connection, each experience a key, each tear a stream guiding you toward the place I have appointed. This is the stage where I call you to step into the realm of vision, where you are no longer seeking healing only for yourself, but beginning to see the greater purpose behind all I have done in you. You no longer ask, "Why did this happen to me?" but instead, "What is this awakening in me?" You no longer ask, "Why did I have to hurt?" but "Who is this pain shaping me to become?" You no longer ask, "When will this trial end?" but "What is this trial preparing me for?" This is the maturity of the soul, not a dramatic moment, but a gentle shift that allows you to see your place in the larger story I am writing. Child, where you stand now is not a resting place, it is a launch pad. I have placed within you things that only this season can activate. You have walked through healing, rebuilding, awakening, and now I am leading you into the season of sacred action, not action driven by self-effort, but action fueled by my light and peace. What I intend to do in your life will not require striving. It will flow from the unity between your heart and my will. You may feel that the changes within you are making you unlike the person you used to be. Things that once brought you joy no longer stir your spirit. Things you once overlooked have become profoundly important. I know there are moments when you worry you are drifting, but I want you to understand, this is not drifting, this is upgrading. When I prepare someone for a great assignment, I always change their affections, their desires, their priorities. and the deep movements of their soul. You cannot carry an old heart into a new season. You need a reshaped heart, capable of holding the vision I am placing on your life. The weight you feel within does not resemble the heaviness of old. It is not a burden, but a heavenly stirring. You sense that something must be built, spoken, acted on, or stepped into, even if you cannot fully name it yet. This is the sign that I am shifting you from receiver to bearer. Not everyone is called into this stage. Many stop once they are healed. Many stop when they find peace. But I am not stopping you there. For in you is a piece of my design meant to serve other souls. You are healed to heal. You are lifted to lift. You are illuminated to illuminate. You may think you are not ready for what I am placing before you. But my child, no one becomes ready before they are called. Readiness comes after obedience. You step, then strength arrives. You obey, then the door opens. You say yes, then purpose unfolds. This is how I work. I do not seek the perfect, I seek the open-hearted. And I see in you what you sometimes cannot see in yourself: softness, perseverance, faithfulness, and the capacity to hear me even in the noise of life. Strong people are not those who never tremble. The strong are those who keep walking even while their knees shake. The mature are not the fearless. They are the ones who know how to place their fear in my hands. This season asks for courage, not courage to confront the world, but courage to trust my voice above the noise of your own heart. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to hold on to the sensitivity forged in your silent months, and let your steps follow the small light before you. I will lead you step by step. You will notice that even though the road is not brightly lit, there is a quiet certainty in your spirit. And every time you move forward with that certainty, the light will widen. This is the principle of heaven. Light is given according to obedience. The more you obey, the more light you receive. The more you walk, the more you see. The more you trust, the stronger you become. And soon, you will look back and see the wondrous journey I have led you through by nothing more than whispers. In this season, I will place the right people into your life at the right time. These souls do not come to fill a void. They come to strengthen what I am building in you. I will bring people who carry peace, encouragement, and light. And at the same time, I will cause those who no longer belong in your journey to step aside. Do not cling to what I have released. Do not weep over doors I have closed. Do not assume that loss is always defeat. Often loss is an invitation into a greater fullness. There are times when I separate you from old relationships so you do not have to share my voice with voices that distort it. There are times when I draw you into silence so your soul can relearn the rhythm of heaven. There are times when I place you in solitude so you may perceive my nearness in a way you never have before. There are times when I quiet everything around you so you can finally hear the voice that has been speaking inside you all along. In this season, I will open your eyes to see how heaven's intervention is actively at work around you. You will recognize that coincidences are no longer coincidences, they are guidance. You will recognize that the gentle nudges in your heart are not fleeting emotions, they are direction. You will recognize that sudden pauses are not delays, they are protection. You will recognize that opportunities arriving at the perfect moment are not luck, they are orchestration. You are a soul entering the sacred territory of partnership with heaven. What I do is no longer merely for you to observe, it is for you to join in. I want you not only as a listener, but as a co-laborer, not only as a follower, but as a carrier, not only as one who is led, but as one who leads by the light I have placed within you. My child, prepare your heart. This is only the opening of part 4. you will see deeper layers, greater revelations, and stronger movements in the sections ahead. But for now, the truth I want you to hold firmly is this: you are in the right place, at the right time, in the right position to step into what I am about to do. My child, I want you to recognize the truth. My preparation is never separate from my purpose. If in the earlier chapters I focused on healing, restoring, and renewing your spirit, then now I begin to reveal what I have been preparing you for all along. Not every season has the same goal. There is a season to learn to listen, a season to learn to be still, a season to learn to trust in the dark. But now, you are stepping into the season I call the season of breakthrough in guidance. Do not think breakthrough always comes with outward explosions. True breakthrough begins within, when you start walking according to my voice without demanding to see the results first, when you realize you do not need complete understanding to walk with confidence, when you know that spiritual certainty is stronger than circumstantial certainty. My child, what I am doing in your life is not a loud push, but a strong, steady current, a current carrying you beyond the limits you once believed you could never cross. Do you remember the recent moments when you felt a gentle current running through your heart? A stirring you could not explain. A restlessness, as though you were being summoned into something greater, that is, my rhythm. This rhythm does not come from anxiety, but from invitation. It does not unsettle you, it awakens you. It does not push you into pressure, it draws you into alignment with the plan I have written for you. Those gentle stirrings are the early form of guidance in this new season. My child, what I am teaching you now is how to walk by peace instead of by confusion. Many believe heaven's guidance appears through dramatic signs, but when a soul matures, I guide them through stillness. Peace is my loudest voice in this season. If something pulls your spirit, clouds your mind, blurs your clarity, or suffocates your soul, know that I am not in it. But if you feel lightness, clarity, quiet assurance, even when circumstances are uncertain, that is me opening a door. I know you are learning to distinguish what comes from me and what comes from the echoes of old emotions. But my child, I have placed in you a sensitivity that not everyone has. You perceive the smallest shifts within your soul. You notice subtle misalignments. You discern the directions I am pointing you toward before any outward evidence appears. Do not see this as complexity. It is a privilege. It is the sign that you are attuned to my realm of light. In this season, I am rearranging the space around you. Things that used to drain your time and energy will naturally fall away. Responsibilities that were never yours will step back. Relationships that no longer align will fade quietly. You will not need to force anything. I will make everything clear. This separation is not punishment, it is protection. I am removing noise so you can hear my voice in full. My beloved, I know there are moments when you look at the lives of others and wonder why they move quickly while you must walk slowly. I want you to know this: souls who walk slowly with me will eventually travel farther than those who run fast by their own strength. For these slow steps are not delays, they are anchors of wisdom. When you walk slowly with me, every step is solid. Every step has foundation. Every step stands on truth. Others may rush ahead, but they do not see the pits hidden before them. You, however, my light guides your steps one by one, and every step is an investment in depth, not speed. This season will also unlock what you once prayed for in silence, divine confirmation. I will begin to show you that the whispers you heard before are becoming clear. You will encounter moments when you realize, I have heard this before in my spirit long ago. This is proof that you were not imagining, not misinterpreting, not inventing, but truly hearing my voice. This confirmation does not come to satisfy your mind, but to strengthen your faith. It will help you stand firm when I ask you to step into places you have never walked. I see in you a quiet but unmistakable shift. You are becoming someone no longer ruled by fleeting emotion. You are beginning to understand that not every emotion tells the truth, and not every thought deserves agreement. You are beginning to discern the difference between the voice of old fear and the voice of truth. You are beginning to know when your soul reacts from wounding, and when it responds from the prompting of my spirit. This is a profound sign of maturity, a sign that you have crossed into the realm of wisdom that not everyone reaches. In this season, I will also allow you to see my intervention in the smallest details. You will recognize that I do not act only in great and mighty things. Sometimes it is simply a thought arriving at the exact right moment, a message appearing unexpectedly, a sentence spoken by a stranger that echoes the very thing you have been asking, a short dream that carries a profound meaning, or a sudden inner hesitation just before you make a wrong decision. These are not coincidences. They are my loving supervision, covering your life from the smallest things. This season will open doors that no one will be able to close. There are things I held back for a long time, not because I did not want to bless you, but because your inner being was not yet strong enough to carry them. But now, these things are drawing near. You will see opportunities appearing as if out of nowhere. You will enter conversations that lead you into directions you never imagined. You will find choices that once seemed vague becoming as clear as the morning light. However, before you step into these new things, I need you to hold on to one truth. Do not doubt when I open the door. Doubt is the darkness of the old season. Confidence in me is the light of the new one. If I open, you must step. If I stir your heart, you must act. If I whisper, you must listen. You will not go wrong when you walk with me. My beloved child, this stage is not merely preparation. It is the threshold of movement, the place where you no longer only hear my voice, but begin to walk with intention, strength, and confidence under heaven's guidance. And before you move into the next section of the journey, I need you to look back on all I have planted in the recent chapters, not to long for them or cling to them, but to recognize the firm foundation I have laid beneath your feet. You have moved from healing to rebuilding, from rebuilding to awakening, and from awakening to a deeper alignment with my will. The rhythm within you has changed. Your spirit is no longer fragile as before, easily carried away by noise or shaken by fluctuating emotions. You have learned to be still, to listen, to discern what is true and what is merely an echo of old fears. And, my child, I want you to understand that these processes are not temporary changes. They form a new identity, a new spiritual structure within you that no one can break. In these past months, even when you did not realize it, I taught you an important lesson. You can walk without seeing the whole picture. I have trained your soul in step-by-step obedience, in following small glimmers of light, in accepting that I see what you cannot. You thought you were merely trying to survive one day at a time, but in truth, you were being trained for higher places. This stage has sharpened your discernment, making you sensitive to even the gentlest guidance. What once confused you now makes you pause and ask me. What once overwhelmed you now becomes a reminder to turn your heart toward me. Now, I want to teach you something that only souls who have passed through 3 deep phases of the journey can comprehend: the ability to hold peace even when stepping into the unknown. This is not peace born of circumstances or favorable outcomes, but peace born of union with me, peace that becomes the ground for your decisions, the light for your direction, the steady whisper within you, even while storms howl outside. When you carry this peace, you will no longer be pulled back by the past, no longer swayed by vague fears, no longer burdened by weights that were never yours to carry. This peace is the sign that you no longer act from impulse, but from divine guidance. I know there are things in your life that remain unclear, choices you cannot yet discern, thresholds you do not know whether to cross, relationships whose purpose you cannot define, and dreams you do not yet have words for. But I want you to know that this uncertainty is not neglect, it is the space I created for your faith to grow. A mature soul is not one who sees everything clearly, but one who sees me clearly, and with that alone. You have enough light to take your next step. In this moment of your life, I am opening for you a new understanding partnership with heaven does not come from urgency, but from continuity in keeping pace with me. You do not need to run fast, you only need to stay aligned with the realm of light. When I stir, you respond. When I hold you back, you stay. When I open a door, you step. When I whisper corrections in your heart, you adjust. That is partnership, not loud activity, but the subtle harmony between heaven's rhythm and the rhythm of your heart. I am leading you into a stage where your old limits will be exposed, not to shame your weaknesses, but so I can replace them with a new measure of strength. You think your recent exhaustion is a sign you have no more energy, but in reality, it is my way of showing you that you cannot use old energy for a new territory. The old season required endurance, the new season requires operation. The old season demanded struggle, the new season demanded communion. The old season relied on experience, the new season relies on guidance. And you must let go of old ways in order to receive the new methods I am planting within you. The limitations you once believed about yourself no longer have authority over you. You have been surrounded by old words, old memories that made you shrink, old assumptions you carried from a bygone time. But now, they no longer fit you. You have grown beyond them. You have stepped out of the small identity that the past forced on your heart. You have risen above the labels others placed upon you. I want you to continue forward without carrying any restraint from the days behind you. Believe in the renewal I have worked within you. Do not doubt it simply because you have not yet seen immediate results. The seeds I plant in your soul are not seeds that sprout quickly. They are enduring seeds, sown to grow in harsh conditions, and once they rise, they remain. You cannot measure your transformation by isolated moments. You must measure it by the quiet transitions happening every day as you become more peaceful, more steady, more clear-minded, more gentle, and more sensitive to my voice. My child, you are entering the realm of divine entrustment, where I not only heal, renew, and guide you, but begin placing in your hands responsibilities that come from heaven. I did not lead you here to keep you in gentle comfort. I brought you to this place so you may become a bearer of light, a bearer of vision, a bearer of life to places you once thought you were too weak to reach. And, my child, it is precisely because you think you are not enough that I can entrust you with something great. For I do not choose those confident in their own strength. I choose those who know they need me with every breath. At this moment, all of heaven is watching you in a particular way, not because you are more special than others, but because you opened your heart to walk the full journey where many stop halfway. I see the way you do not turn back when the darkness pulls, the way you do not quit when silence stretches long, the way you do not harden your heart when trials pile up. And this perseverance has brought you into a place where I can hand you what you could not carry before. You do not realize this, but every time you choose to stand instead of collapse, every time you refuse to let fear lead, every time you are fragile yet still cling to the light, all of it sends a call into heaven that says, "This soul is ready for more." In this season, I will open before you a new dimension of perception, where you not only see what happens around you, but understand what is taking place beneath the surface of all things. You will sense the movement of spiritual currents, perceive the shift in the atmosphere of a place, feel the invisible weight behind someone's words, attitude, or presence. This is not excessive sensitivity. This is spiritual sharpness given to those I prepare to carry influence in the unseen. These perceptions do not come to burden you. They come so you may walk with precision, so you do not waste time. Do not give your heart to the wrong places, and do not pour your energy into what does not belong to you. The entrustment I am giving you will not be shown through fame, noise, or glamorous roles in the eyes of the world. It will manifest through the weight of my presence within you. When you are somewhere, peace will spread. When you speak, light will stir hearts. When you walk, darkness will withdraw, even if you do nothing dramatic. That sacred presence does not come from knowledge or effort. It comes from the deep union between your soul and me. True strength does not come from your striving. It comes from letting me work through you, my child. In the days ahead, you will feel me enlarging your heart in an unfamiliar way. What once irritated you will lose its power. What once discouraged you will no longer weigh as heavily. What once stole your peace will shrink before your eyes. But at the same time, your heart will become wider, deeper, more tender, more expansive, so that you may sense the spiritual needs of those around you. I will place within you a gentle stirring each time you stand near a soul in need of encouragement, light, or a simple word of hope. That stirring is not emotion, it is my signal, telling you I want to use you in that exact moment. You will notice that your ability to hear my voice has increased, not in a mystical way, but in a simple yet profound way. Sudden clarity in a thought, a scripture rising at the perfect moment, a phrase from someone striking deep though they do not grasp its meaning. These things are evidence that I am drawing you into alignment with my will. As you walk in that alignment, what I have prepared for so long will begin to unfold gently, yet decisively, like a door that swings open with a quiet wind. And I also want you to know this entrustment is not given so you may carry everything alone. No, my child, I never place the full weight of heaven on a fragile soul. Everything I give you comes with my support, the protection of angels, and the covering of the Holy Spirit. You are not called to replace me. You are called to walk with me. Entrustment is not a burden. It is an invitation to enter the realm of divine operation, where you become the vessel through which life flows, not the source that must create it. I want you to practice one essential thing. Do not rush to act just because you feel ready. Your readiness is not the sign of timing. The true sign is the fire in your spirit that nothing can extinguish. I will allow you to feel it. When the time comes, you will know not by logic but by the sudden brightness in your heart. When I open a door, no one can close it. When I urge you to move, all circumstances will lean in your favor. You will not need to chase the door, it will open toward you. I am leading you into a realm where my will is no longer something you seek, but something you live. You no longer ask what you must do. You begin to walk with my voice in every step. You no longer stand outside observing. You enter the flow of the divine. You no longer merely receive my presence. You become the one who carries it to every place I send you. This is the entrustment reserved for those who allow me to shape them to the core, to rebuild them from the foundation, to illuminate them with the fierce light of truth. My beloved, I want to open within your soul a truth that many search for all their lives, yet never touch. My will is not a map, it is a flow. And in this phase of your journey, you are no longer called to stand at the edge, searching for that flow. You are invited to step into it, to merge with it, to let my breath guide every rhythm of your life. When you align with that flow, you will see that my guidance no longer comes as scattered signals, but as a steady harmony, as when a musician no longer counts each beat, but becomes part of the melody itself. Before, you tried to distinguish what was from me and what was not. But now, I am opening for you a new level of subtlety when you are in deep communion with me. Every movement of your heart is lit by my presence. Not because you have become flawless, but because my presence has become the atmosphere of your spirit. When your soul dwells in the light, every thought, feeling, intuition, and impulse is purified before it reaches your will. This is the union many only read about, long for, but you are being brought into experience. The entrustment of this season will help you grasp one truth. What I want to do through you does not depend on the abilities you think you have, but on your willingness to be filled. When your heart remains open, I can pour in. When your heart remains soft, I can shape it. When your heart remains still, I can speak. The softness of your spirit is the doorway I use to bring the fire of heaven into your life. My child, in the days ahead, you will begin to recognize that your spiritual vision is being widened in a way you have never experienced before. The situations you encounter will no longer appear as isolated events. They will carry layers of hidden meaning. A brief encounter may contain an entire message from heaven. A sentence you overhear by accident may hold a direction. A fleeting feeling may be a reminder. The things that seem small will become instruments I use to lead you into deeper realms of wisdom. The adversary always seeks to strike your focus and your trust. He does not need to destroy you. He only needs to distract you from my voice. But in this season, your spirit has grown strong enough not to be deceived by false signals. You will recognize what does not belong to me instantly, not through intellect, but through a subtle shift in the spiritual atmosphere. A harmless-sounding word that unsettles your heart, that is a sign. An opportunity that looks good but does not harmonize with your spirit, that is a warning. A direction that sounds logical but pulls you away from stillness, that is error. This is the deeper discernment I give to those who step into divine entrustment. I will open within you the ability to carry the atmosphere of heaven wherever you go, not by loud words or dramatic gestures, but by your very presence. When you enter a space, the atmosphere will begin to shift toward peace, order, and clarity. When you stand near a troubled soul, their mind will quiet even before you say a word. When you listen to someone in pain, they will feel lighter before you offer any solution. This change does not come from you. It comes from my presence within you, radiating through your gaze, your breath, and the stillness you carry. You do not need to create influence. You are the influence. In this season, I will intensify my invisible intervention in your decisions. You may think you randomly consider a different option, but it is I who touched your thoughts. You may think you suddenly lose interest in something you once desired, but it is I who is protecting you from turning down a path not meant for you. You may think you accidentally meet someone, but it is I who arranged the meeting. You may think you changed your mind at the last minute, but it is I who adjusted your steps to keep your life aligned with the trajectory of light. And you must understand something vital about this entrustment. You do not need to know the entire plan in order to walk it correctly. In the realm of heaven, completeness does not come first. It appears as you follow each small beam of light. When you take one step, I will open the next step. When you heed one whisper, I will give the next. My light never floods all at once. It shines just enough for you to move without outrunning me. I am also building in you a new endurance, not the endurance of sheer will, but the endurance of peace. You will no longer be easily shaken by someone's opinion, by waves of emotion, or by sudden pressures. This is the sign that your spirit has matured. A mature soul is not one without emotion. It is one who allows truth to be stronger than emotion, light to be stronger than fear, and stillness to be stronger than noise. In the days to come, I will give you moments of divine touch, moments where heaven and earth meet within your life. It may be when my presence envelops you unexpectedly during a quiet morning. It may be when you are walking and a sudden clarity fills your mind. It may be when you pray without words and tears fall because you know I am touching the deepest parts of your soul. These moments are not merely to comfort you. They are markers of spiritual advancement, engraving into your heart the assurance that you are moving in the right direction. This entrustment will lead you into something deeper, divine confidence. Not confidence based on ability, but on presence. Not confidence based on achievement, but on identity. Not confidence based on preparedness, but on guidance. When you walk in this divine confidence, you will no longer need to prove anything. You will not need to explain yourself. You will not need to justify the changes happening within you. You will walk as one who knows where they come from and where they are going, not with pride, but with the steadiness of a soul that has found its source. I am leading you into the realm of movement, the realm of those who not only hear my voice but understand my rhythm, who not only follow me but walk with me, who not only receive from me but release what I pour into them. My beloved child, if once your life moved to the rhythm of worry, pressure, and unanswered questions, now the rhythm within you is flowing into a steady stream of peace, guidance, and my presence. This inner shift is the sign that you have entered one of the most significant spiritual transitions of your journey, the maturation of carrying light. You once believed that light had to be bright, visible, impressive, but my child, true light does not need noise. True light only needs to be present. When you stand somewhere, the air changes. When you remain silent in a crowd, peace spreads into the space. When you place a hand on someone's shoulder, my unseen comfort touches them. When you speak a simple sentence, it carries sacred weight. These things happen not because you try to make them happen, but because you have become a bearer of my presence, not by effort, but by identity. You are entering the realm where even your smallest actions carry spiritual depth. A simple blessing may open a path of light for a soul on the verge of collapse. A seemingly ordinary conversation may become the answer to a prayer that person never voiced. A well-timed silence may become a shield against invisible attack. You do not need to know the full extent of your impact. You only need to remain faithful in small things for the rest. I will handle. In this season, your stillness becomes your strength. Not the stillness of hopelessness, but the stillness of one who knows they stand in the light. You begin to realize you do not need to argue. Prove yourself. Defend your image, or explain every action. You need only stand firm in the truth I planted within you. What comes from darkness will dissolve upon touching the stillness of my presence in you. What does not belong to me will fall away without your striving. This entrustment will place before you new opportunities not to elevate you in the eyes of others, but to position you where I can work through you more powerfully. You will see doors open gently, yet unmistakably. Not all will be grand, but each will carry deep purpose. A chance meeting may lead to a new direction. A small invitation may open a place for you to bring light where you never expected. A shift in your schedule may guide you exactly where I want you. Sometimes you will fear you lack the strength to carry what I am unfolding. But, my child, your strength does not come from you. It comes from your union with me. A candle cannot burn endlessly on its own, but when placed within a greater flame, it never goes out. So it is with you. When you remain in my presence, your flame depends not on circumstance or emotion, but on the unending flow of heaven. You have learned how to hear my voice in stillness. Now I want you to learn to hear me in movement, not only in prayer, but in work, in conversations, in your steps, in your thoughts. I want my voice to become the background music of your life, gentle but ever present, deep but never disruptive. Then you will no longer distinguish between spiritual time and daily life. All time becomes spiritual time. My child, when you carry the light, darkness will recognize you before you recognize it. This is not something to fear. It is evidence that you are walking in the right direction. Darkness does not attack those who carry no light. It attacks those who are destined to illuminate the very territory it wishes to own. So when you sense slight resistance, hear baseless words, or feel strange emotions pressing against your spirit, do not be alarmed. Understand that these things only confirm that you are stepping into a region I intend for you to conquer with peace. And I will never send you into any place where I have not already gone before you to prepare the ground. I will allow you to perceive my presence more clearly in moments that seem ordinary. You will feel a gentle warmth in the midst of a shifting day. You will sense my protection like an invisible cloak. You will notice glimmers of light rising in your heart even when your circumstances remain unchanged. These are signs that heaven is near, very near, and that you are walking in the rhythm I ordained long before you understood it. My beloved child, this is not an ending. This is the opening of a new season, a dimension you have never stepped into before. Every step you have taken, every valley you have crossed, every door you thought was closed, every whisper you heard in the dark, and every small flame you treasured inside your heart, none of these existed in fragments. They have formed a sacred line connecting you to the moment of revelation you are now approaching. I have taught you to listen, to awaken, to discern, to stand firm, and to walk the narrow space between shadow and light. But now, my child, I desire to bring you into the stage of unveiling where everything I planted within you no longer remains as concepts, but becomes reality, where what you once knew by faith begins to be seen with spiritual sight, where my whisper becomes unmistakably clear. You once asked me why my promises seemed delayed, why your prayers felt as though they were falling into emptiness, why certain seasons required you to walk in silence and uncertainty. But I tell you this, every silence of the past was not absence, but preparation. In the heavenly realm, certain things must mature before they can touch your life. A promise never arrives early, nor does it arrive late. It arrives when you have the strength to carry it, the maturity to keep it, the unity to interpret it rightly, and the stability to move forward with it. I am not merely leading you to a destination, I am shaping you into part of the destination itself. The things I desire to reveal to you do not lie outside of you, they lie within you. Your destiny is not suspended somewhere far away. It lives in what I planted in your soul before you were formed. And now, the time of unveiling draws near, not with noise, but with profound clarity. My child, you will see that events in your life are not random, they are aligned with invisible currents. You will notice new connections, unexpected encounters, and quiet opportunities opening before you. And you will know, deep in your spirit, that these are not coincidences but my precise designs. You will feel a harmony between what happens around you and what I speak within you, as though heaven and earth are walking beside you in the same rhythm. You are entering the realm of confirmation. The things you once questioned will be clarified. The impressions you once sensed vaguely will become evident. The prayers you offered in tears will be answered in peace. The dreams you once held with trembling will be released with courage. The desires that once felt far away will come near as close as breath. But to enter this realm of unveiling, I need you to release something you did not realize was holding you back, the fear of making a mistake. You fear choosing the wrong path. You fear misinterpreting a sign. You fear disappointing me. You fear losing what is best. But my child, hear this. A heart that genuinely seeks me cannot wander away from me. You may move slowly. You may hesitate. But I will never allow you to be lost. When a child sincerely longs for home, it will always find the way, because its heart is tied to where it belongs. So it is with you. Your soul belongs to me, and I will always draw you back to the right direction, even when you do not realize it. In this stage of revelation, things that once seemed meaningless will begin to connect. The disappointments, the wounds, the losses, the tears, the lonely nights you endured, all of them will begin to assemble like pieces of a grand design. You will see why certain prayers were not answered the way you hoped. You will see why certain paths were closed to you. You will see why some people were in your life only for a season before I removed them. You will see why you had to take the longer way, why you had to wait, why you had to endure, why you had to be silent. And when the picture becomes clear enough, you will know that I never led you in a wasted circle. Every curve brought you precisely where you needed to be. My beloved child, you are not merely someone trying to survive, trying to find answers, trying to make it through trials. You are one who is destined to carry royal, divine authority in your own life. I do not only rescue you from darkness, I place light in your hands so you may step into the role I ordained for you from the beginning. And in this unveiling, you will begin to see yourself more clearly, not through the mirror of criticism or old limitations, but through my gaze. You are stronger than you think, deeper than you know, and more precious than you realize. You will recognize this change as you begin to sense that the things which once crushed you no longer carry the same weight. A hurtful word will no longer make you tremble. A delay will no longer drive you to despair. A closed door will no longer fill you with resentment. You will notice within yourself a new solidity, not born of striving, but of the inner foundation I have been strengthening in you. In this season, the rhythm of heaven will become clearer than the noise of your own heart. You will see that what does not belong to you will drift away without you having to fight it. What truly belongs to you will find its way to you even when you are not clinging to it. Guidance will come as gently as the morning breeze and as deep as the sound of many waters. You will know. No forcing, no fear of being wrong, no confusion. You will know because I am bringing you into the realm of clarity. Prepare your heart. What has been hidden for so long is about to be revealed. What you have waited for with patient endurance is about to be confirmed. And what I have ordained for you before time began is about to be illuminated before your eyes. My beloved child, I want to unfold for you another layer of meaning that many souls long for. Yet only few truly touch the union between what I speak and what you become. For revelation is not only what you see, revelation is what takes shape in you so that you can carry what I intend to give. You will realize that unveiling does not come to decorate your soul, but to restructure it so that you not only understand my will, but also live in harmony with its rhythm. This is the season in which what I have spoken over your life will no longer remain outside of you like a distant message, but will become something shining from within. You will find yourself thinking differently, feeling differently, seeing life differently, and responding differently to the very things that once made you afraid or unstable. Not because you are forcing change, but because the light I planted in your soul has begun to reshape your inner structure. Light does not only drive out darkness, light redefines everything it touches. You will notice that in this season, peace becomes the default setting of your soul rather than something you are constantly trying to hold on to. In the past, you tried to keep your peace like someone trying to keep a full cup of water steady in a strong wind. But now, peace will become the atmosphere you live in, not a moment, but a state of being. You will find yourself walking calmly through things that once made you shake. You will watch sudden changes without panicking. You will hear news that shakes others, yet your heart will remain steady. This is not numbness, it is the maturity of a spirit I, myself, have fortified. As I move deeper into your life, I want you to recognize that the greatest revelation is not what you see outside, but what I show you about yourself. You cannot carry what I have destined for you if you keep seeing yourself through old lenses. In this part of the journey, I will remove the distorted mirrors life has pressed upon you, words of criticism, twisted expectations, meaningless comparisons, wounds that made you doubt your own worth. I will teach you to see yourself in the light, not with arrogance, but with a right understanding of your heavenly identity. You will sense this transformation when my words to you are no longer only heard, but seen. You will see yourself standing up without forcing yourself to be strong. You will see yourself stepping forward with boldness that does not need to be pushed from behind. You will see yourself knowing what to do without overthinking every detail. You will see yourself walking straight into what I have prepared without battling the same fears and doubts that once held you back. That is the sign that your soul has come into alignment with the frequency of heaven. And in that harmony, every step you take becomes part of my unveiling. I will also lead you into a new lesson, learning to receive goodness without loading yourself with the burden of suspicion. Many times in the past, when blessing came near, you hesitated to receive it because you feared you were unworthy, feared it would disappear, feared it was only a fleeting moment. But my child, this revealing will help you understand that what I give is not fragile. Blessings from me are not delicate bubbles that burst easily. They are like springs that do not run dry. If I give you something, I also give you the foundation to hold it. If I open a door for you, I also keep you standing firm on the other side. I do not grant you something only to make you live in fear of losing it. You will begin to see my intervention come more swiftly than before. Things that once took a long time to understand will become clear in a matter of moments. Matters you prayed about for many months will begin to unfold without strain. Problems that seem to have no way out will unexpectedly resolve gently, not because circumstances suddenly become ideal, but because the eyes of your spirit have been opened. When you can see my hand at work, you will no longer be disturbed by appearances. When you hear my voice clearly, you will no longer be thrown into confusion by the noise of the world. My child, revelation also carries an invitation to step out of your former smallness and partner with me in greater things. Not greater in the sense of show or spectacle, but greater in weight before heaven. There will be words you speak that carry healing. There will be simple actions that open the way for change. There will be encouragement from your lips that becomes a turning point for someone standing on the edge between despair and hope. You will enter the realm of things that are small but great, where a nod, a listening ear, or a gentle greeting can carry life. At the same time, I want you to prepare your heart for the gentle but inevitable separation that comes with revelation. What no longer belongs to the new season will quietly drop away, not in chaos, but in peace. Relationships that do not fit the realm you are entering will gradually fade. Old habits will feel out of place in your life. Choices you once considered important will no longer stir your desire. These changes are not loss. They are the refinement of your path. In this phase, your heart will also become more sensitive to spiritual vibrations. You will hear the tone of truth and distinguish it from the tone of falsehood. You will feel the heaviness surrounding what is not from me and the lightness within what I send. You will see clearly who carries peace and who carries confusion into your life, not through judgment, but through discernment illuminated by my Spirit. And I want you to know that in this unveiling, I am not only speaking to you, I am walking with you. You are not entering this new realm alone. I go before you. I walk beside you. I come behind you. I surround you. You cannot lose your way in my light. And in the days to come, you will know with unshakable certainty that I have never abandoned you, never been silent in cold indifference, never been distant in the way your fears once suggested. I am here closer than ever, clearer than before, and strong in every beat of your life. My beloved child, I want you to pause for a deeply quiet moment and sense clearly that this is not the end of a message, but the opening of a new era in your soul. Everything you have heard, absorbed, and allowed to soak into your spirit throughout this long journey has not been a collection of scattered phrases. They are foundation stones I have carefully set into your life word by word, breath by breath, prompting by prompting to prepare you to enter the realm I designed for you before time began. There are things you cannot yet see with your natural eyes, and yet they are moving around you with a power your spirit will soon perceive. The currents of heaven are pouring out, not in loud display, but in a powerful stillness like the first breath before dawn breaks the night. You stand at the intersection where the old is closing and the new is opening, and at this very crossing, I want to place deep within you a sure conviction that you are not stepping into the new season empty-handed. You carry wisdom refined through every trial. You carry peace forged through every long night. You carry resilience built through every time you rise again under weight. And you carry the light I have continually breathed into your soul, a light no darkness can extinguish. The steps you are about to take will not resemble the steps you have taken before. This is no longer a journey of groping in the dark, no longer walking under constant confusion, no longer passing through seasons where silence feels like a heavy cloak. You are entering a phase where my voice will be as clear to you as your own breathing, where you no longer seek me with anxious striving, but find me in still confidence, where you no longer have to guess at my will. For your soul has come into rhythm with heaven, where you not only hear my voice, but recognize my presence as unquestionable reality. I have seen the weariness you have carried. I have seen the nights you wrestled with fear, wondering if you had strength to continue. I have seen every tear that fell when you felt you were no longer yourself, when you felt your strength slipping away, when the future seemed covered by a thick fog. I did not merely see, I was there. I stood by you when no one else did. I held your soul when you felt like you were free falling. I lifted your head when it hung low under the weight of sorrow. And I want you to know this, not a single moment of that pain was meaningless. Each one is a piece of a journey arranged with wisdom far beyond your understanding. Now I speak plainly the words I have waited to say at this perfect moment. You have passed through the season of preparation. You are stepping into the season of operation. It is no longer the phase where you are merely learning how to stand. It is the phase where you will walk in steadiness. It is no longer the phase where you are only learning how to listen. It is the phase where you will speak what I place upon your lips. It is no longer the phase where you only learn to endure. It is the phase where you will carry blessing and power like a living stream flowing out from your soul. My beloved child, who will begin to notice small yet powerful movements unfolding around you. The gentle urgings you once brushed aside will no longer feel vague. They will sound like clear invitations. Signs you used to overlook will sharpen, cutting through the fog like a blade of light. Encounters that seem ordinary on the surface will carry the weight of divine orchestration. You will feel as though heaven is drawing you forward in a current impossible to resist, and you will not resist anymore. For your soul has learned to recognize the peace that comes from me. In this season, you will also realize that opposition no longer shakes you the way it once did. You will no longer fear the darkness, for you have learned to stand beneath the light. You will no longer fear pressure, for you know that I am your refuge. You will no longer fear the future, for you have sensed my hand going before you, and you will no longer fear loss, for you have seen that I am the one who restores all that has been taken. A divine confidence will become your armor, gentle yet unshakable, humble yet carrying great authority. I will place upon you a new weight of my presence, not a weight that makes you bow down, but one that makes you stand upright, not a burden that exhausts you, but a sacred gravity that lifts you. When you step into places that require light, I will shift the atmosphere around you even before you speak. When you enter conversations that need healing, I will make you a vessel of peace they have never known. When you come near hearts that are breaking, my river will flow through you like cool water in a desert. Do not forget this, you never walk alone. Not now, not tomorrow, not any day in the seasons ahead. I go before you to prepare the way. I walk beside you to uphold you. I follow behind you to protect you, and I dwell within you to lead you. Step into your new season with an open heart, with bright eyes, with a soul standing tall. Do not look back at the past with sorrow. Look at it as evidence of my faithfulness. Do not look at the future with anxiety. See it as a field I have already prepared for you to enter and harvest. Do not look at yourself with doubt. See yourself through the light I am shining upon you, the light of love, of chosen identity, of divine positioning, and of unending companionship. Thank you for receiving today's message. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue receiving the living word together, building an unshakable faith and walking in the boundless love of God. Amen.